The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Would you like a bite?
No, thank you, I'm good.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
That's okay, I've got it.
I got this. Try it now. Just a little spug wire.
Thanks, Bill.
You gonna fish that?
Gurney's Automotive, with you every step of the way.
Welcome back. I'd like to welcome you back to Living United with Nashua Business. This is a show that we produce twice a month about how different businesses and business owners in the greater Nashua community participate in the life of our community, a little bit about their stories and a little bit about how they give back. So today we have with us a really great couple, Bill and Charlotte Gurney, owners and founders of Gurney's Automotive. Welcome to the show. It's really great to have you with us. I should always say I start out with a truth in advertising segment because I want people to understand what the connection is to United Way. So in your case, you guys are supporters of United Way, and we appreciate that. Every year for the past couple of years, we've come and done a campaign with your employees and where they participate and give back, and we appreciate that as well. So that's great. The show's not about the United Way, it's about you, and it's about our community and how we give back. So welcome. I want to start out really just with some personal stuff. So I did as much research as I could find before you guys made the mistake of allowing me to become a friend on Facebook. So I didn't go there. But no, just a little bit about your background. Are you both from Nashua? How did you meet? What's your story and your family story?
Great. Well, thanks for having us.
Well, of course, Bill.
Appreciate that. Charlotte, do you want to start with your story first?
You go ahead. He
So
always likes to talk.
I'm born and raised in New Hampshire. I've lived here all my life. I grew up in Salem. My parents were in the A&W root beer business. So
Oh, okay. So franchise.
franchise. So I grew up in a entrepreneurial style family.
Yeah.
My dad passed away when I was 13, so my mom, kept on moving forward, and she raised us 5 children. I'm the youngest of 5, and I was always the favorite.
Are all your siblings still here in the greater Nashua, southern New Hampshire area?
No, all my brothers and sisters have moved to other parts of the country. I have 2 in Florida, 1 in North Carolina, and 1 in Kentucky.
Oh, so scattered to the wind.
We are a little bit here and there, but we're still pretty close. We still have family reunions, and we talk all the time.
Very nice. So that's great. I've always wished that I had a big family like that. I come from a small family, just my wife and my daughter and myself. That's like our whole family. I have 1 sibling, and my wife is an only child. And so for us, a family reunion is actually just like this. It's like the 3 of us.
Right.
So I'm a little jealous. That's great. Very nice.
Thank you.
How about yourself, Charlotte?
Well, I grew up in the South, and I come from a family of 5 siblings.
Where in the South?
Louisiana. And when I moved up here, I met Bill, and of course, the rest is history. But I love New Hampshire. New Hampshire's my home now. I've been here. I feel like I'm a native. I've been here over 32, 33 years maybe.
Yeah.
So, and I love it here. I love the people. And
What brought you to New Hampshire?
I was looking for jobs, and I just made my way up here, and
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
yeah.
Well, I should say welcome, but you've been here longer than me, so it should be, the other way around. But nice, that's great. How did you guys meet?
So we met at a bowling alley.
Oh, very nice. Lita Lanes or something like that? Or
It was
nothing that exciting.
bowling alley in Londonderry.
Okay.
And we met, kind of like that love at first sight thing, and we got married 6 months later. So we didn't. It was quick.
That's great.
And
Well,
it's been 32 years.
well, I think you're probably the first couple that I've met that met at a bowling alley. So I probably have met others. They just never told me. So that's great. And kids?
We have 3 beautiful children, and
2 girls and a boy.
yes, and we now have 4 grandsons.
You just recently had
A
grandchild.
grandson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When was that? Like within a couple of weeks ago.
2
right?
weeks tomorrow.
Oh.
Little Adam.
Where are they?
Uh,
Grandkids.
well, we have the 2 in
West Newbury.
West Newbury,
Okay.
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And the other 2 live in the same town we do.
Oh, okay.
Anthea. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So not far away.
Not far at all.
Oh,
So we
that's-
see them almost every day. And of
That's
course, 2 of them we see almost on a daily basis because our youngest daughter, Hannah, and also her husband work with us in the business.
Yeah.
And for the first year, she brought Eli to work with her.
Yeah.
And because she was nursing, it just worked out. And now he's in daycare. And now Jack came his first year.
Yeah, I met your grandchild the first day I came by to visit, and it was great. I'm like, this is awesome. This is a family business,
It's a
if ever
family
I've
business.
seen one.
Yep.
That's very nice. And so you've had the business for 31 years, right?
Yes, we started in February 11th of 1985. And we started out downtown off of on East Hollis Street,
Whereabouts on East Hollis?
where Wendy's is now. There used to be
Oh, okay, yeah.
a building there
Sure.
in the corner.
Yeah, so by the McDonald's across from there.
Yep. And then
Okay.
we spent a long time up on Amherst Street, right behind the Exxon station, which is
Yep.
now just a independent repair facility there now. And we were in the back there for about 17 years.
Okay.
And we moved over to Broad Street in 2001.
And that was a good move for you?
That was a great move for us. God was good to us and blessed us with a great opportunity, and it's a great location.
It's a great location. It's a very highly trafficked location. I wonder, how has the Broad Street Parkway affected your location? Because you are probably as close to it as anybody can be, maybe the Dairy Queen. I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any impact negatively. And I think, our customers, there's a U-turn that turns you back
Yeah.
around and redirects the traffic. And no one has complained
Right.
about
So
being
neither good nor
redirected.
bad.
No good nor bad.
oh, I think they did a great job. I think
Yes.
it's accessible. I think the U-turn works well.
Yeah.
And I think the Parkway certainly takes some time off for people going downtown and coming back.
I think it's been great for the city.
I think so as well. Our business was just a little bit further down, sort of by where United Way is, just like by Goodell's Bike Shop. And I always had customers asking, well, how's the Broad Street Parkway going to affect you? And I always thought, probably in a good way, because you're still going to be able to get here, but maybe a little bit easier, because there'll be a little less congestion. And I think that's the case. Still pretty heavily trafficked street, though. And you have a second location as well, right?
We do. We opened a location in Milford
Yeah.
at 419 Elm Street, and we did that in 2011.
Okay, so new, 5 years ago.
Yep, and that's in the old Accent Auto Group building, not too far down from the Milford Drive-In.
Oh, okay, sure. I know where the drive-in is. So,
Yeah.
Oh, I should have said also Truth in Advertising. You guys also take care of my cars. That's the other thing. And my wife's Fiat, which is really hard to take care of. I think there's probably about like 5 of them in the city. So, so I noticed amongst other things when I was looking for some information that you are on the board of directors, or you're the chairperson of the New Hampshire Auto Dealers Association.
I just finished my year. It's a 1-year commitment, and
Yeah.
I just finished my year as the chairman of the New Hampshire Auto Dealers Association.
So, but you're not an auto dealer.
No, New Hampshire Auto Dealers Association is a unique one across the country.
Yeah.
We're probably the most respected organization across the country.
Yeah.
And we also get the most done in our state than any other state, but we have new car dealers, used car dealers,
Okay.
auto repair shops, body shops, tractor dealers, equipment dealers, power sports dealers, salvage yards, anything really to do with the automotive industry we have in our membership, which makes us extremely strong because
Yeah, I can imagine, because that's a big membership base.
we make up a huge part of the retail sales in the state, and we employ a lot of people in the state.
Okay.
And it's a great organization.
Okay. Yeah, because I was surprised when I saw that, and I'm like, New Hampshire Auto Dealers Association. I didn't notice that they sell cars there, but some repair shops do.
Right.
But I didn't think that you did. So
No,
So
it's
that's-
not. We fix them.
we fix
We
them
don't want to sell them.
Though, well, so somebody has to buy them, and then they bring them to you, and then they need fixing.
Correct.
That makes sense. So, and I should also say, how many years in a row have you been like Nashua's voted as Nashua's best? A lot.
Yeah, in the Telegraph, we were 06. They didn't run it. 07, 08, 09, 010. We won 11, 12, 13. We didn't win 14 or 15, but no, we didn't win 14. We won 15. And last year we won the Channel 9 Viewers' Choice Award, 2015.
Oh, congratulations! That's great.
This year we came in second.
Wow, that's quite impressive. That's really great. So I have to, before we move on totally off to business stuff, I have to ask. I discovered, Charlotte, that you also had a stint in television with a tryout for Deal or No Deal.
Deal or no deal.
I think you're the first person I've
Okay.
interviewed who has done that.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. That's got to be an interesting experience.
Well, actually, my best friend wanted to go audition, so we went down for moral support. So after being in line for about
How long ago
18
was this?
hours, 18 hours, we waited 18 hours.
How long ago?
I want to say this was about 4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years
So
ago.
not long.
not
It's
too long
okay. So
ago.
it's the current New or
5
Deal or
years
No Deal,
maybe,
the show
yeah.
that we watched today.
Yeah. And I said, I might as well audition. I'm here. So they bring you through these rounds of audition, and they cut you. I got to go to the second round.
All right.
Yeah, and I got cut from there, but it was like a month later, I'm in Los Angeles airport, and I'm getting a coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah.
And I turn around, and there's Howie Mandel and two of his bodyguards, and
Yeah.
I turned back around and said, that's Howie Mandel. I turned back around, and what do you say to Howie Mandel?
So that was almost on your show.
I said, hi, Howie. Yeah, and he tried not to laugh out loud, but
Yeah.
it was
That's
great.
great. I'm sure he gets that, probably all
He
the
gets
time.
that all the time.
But that's great. So was it a stressful experience, or how? I mean, this is conversational,
No.
and but
No.
that's a big deal.
Well, I think they asked a round of questions, and you
Yeah.
just blurted out everything
Yeah.
that came to the top of your head,
Yeah.
really. And,
Interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
But it was. Did your friend make it to the second round also, or
No,
no? Just you. So it should have been. You should have. If you were.
yeah,
It was all
it
about
should have
you
been
then.
her. It should have been her, really.
And you're also an aspiring or accomplished cook, I understand.
Well, I think the proof is in the pudding, but
Yeah.
yeah.
She is a extraordinary cook. Our children want her to go on one of the cooking shows on TV because she could win hands down.
I hear that there's food occasionally at the shop
Here's
that
food,
shows up.
Yeah.
I need to be notified.
Fridays.
Okay.
We cook out on Fridays.
Oh, okay.
We do.
well,
We do.
all right, so I'll be there. That's not far, so good. Well, that's great. And the Deal or No Deal, that's great. I had one person on our show who had been on QVC and actually was really successful on QVC. That's all like a whole different. So I think that's really interesting. So one thing I thought was fascinating when I looked at when a person walks into your shop or looks on your website, you're very I think forward-thinking or progressive in how you display and have articulated and publish your values as an organization. And I'm always impressed by that when a company does that. But I also thought, for the purposes of what we're doing here, it's interesting because when you read your core values, of including honoring God, but also honesty and integrity in your personal and professional lives. And then you translate that into contributing to the quality of life and the success of your customers and serving in your community. That's not really business stuff. That's personal stuff, but it's also business stuff. So what for you is the business connection between these values and how that translates and what you do in the community? Because I always try and it's for me interesting, what's the business case for participation in the community? Because there is one, and the successful companies do give back.
Right. I have a hard time separating the business and the personal side of it, because for me, it's all personal. So the business is personal. It's our whole life. So to give back from the business standpoint is really just personally what we're supposed to do, what we should do. I mean, people have helped us all along through our whole life, and we want to make sure that we are doing the same thing. God's word says to, help and to support, especially the widows and the children, orphans. So I think it's just who we are. So is there a business reason for doing it? For me, not really, because it comes from more of our heart. That's what we want to do. But yes, it's good it's a good business thing to do, because we need to be good community partners from a business standpoint as well.
Right, so I understand that you do it from a personal point of view, and as a family business, you do what you do personally anyway, and your business is sort of interwoven into that. But there are also, I would say, business benefits to giving back and participating in the community. For example, maybe employees, when they're part of an organization like that, have a higher level of morale. Or maybe customers, when they hear that you're that type of business, want to do business with you. What have you seen? How have you seen maybe tangible ways in which there have been business benefits, not intended necessarily, but things you've seen that have happened as a result? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from a not a personal standpoint, from a business standpoint, inside of our culture, the way it works is, a lot of organizations do like AFLAC.
Yeah.
Well, and people want to come in and talk to us about it, and I say, well, we don't do AFLAC. And they say, why not? It's because we have the internal Gurney flag plan, we call it, or whatever. And
We do.
Bill and Charlotte Flack.
in our organization, in our culture, is if someone in our culture is in need, then everybody says, hey, listen, so-and-so is having a hard time, and it's time to pass the hat. And everybody in the organization will do whatever they can. It can be $1, it can be $5, and then Charlotte and I'll do some too. But the business benefit of that is when that person that receives those funds gets it from their peers, not from Charlotte or I, but from their peers, you can't buy that loyalty amongst the morale in each other, because it does come from them, even if we participate. And so the same thing goes out when we do it with the community. To get our people involved in the community and say, listen, it's 50 cents a week. It doesn't matter. It adds up a long time. And when they start to see that benefit of what it does for others, and they understand that we're supporting community, real local stuff, they know. And it builds that. It gets the narcissistic way of life out of the way, and that it's a community. Everybody's here to help each other.
Because I could tell when I went and spoke with your employees that there was a real positive feeling about giving back, and that wasn't, and they are not you; they are your employees, but they're a part of your kind of extended business family, and clearly, that is something which is rubbed off.
Right. Well, hopefully we are a positive influence on our employees, because we have people that have been with us 28 years. I mean, and we have a son of one of those people that works for us, and he wrote his bio for our website the other day. He said, well, Bill and Charlotte have known my father longer than I've been alive. And, he's, so it is. It's it's teaching everybody, including ourselves along the way, to be good
Yeah,
neighbors.
that's
good
fantastic.
stewards.
Good stewards.
It's great. And I love the way you put that right up front. As a customer, you walk in and you know, oh, this is what Bill and Charlotte and Gurney's Automotive stands for. And I think that's nice. So I appreciate it. It makes it a lot more than just, it's not just the, I'll give you money, you give me new tires. It's a relationship.
Right.
That's good. I wanted to talk about a couple of the causes that you're passionate about in the community. I know that the Nashua Center for the Multiply Handicapped is one of them. Nashua Soup Kitchen is one of them. I should also say that my wife used to work at the Nashua Center for many years, and it's a great organization. And she's actually involved with the Soup Kitchen on their board now. So we're connected also to both of these organizations. Tell us about a little bit about Nashua Center and how you are involved there.
Well, Nashua Center is an organization that does help the handicapped, and it could be severe to not as severe. But they do a myriad of things, from transportation to they have live-in people that help them. If you go to the grocery store and you see someone in a wheelchair taking care of the flowers, that might be one of their people with them. And they're not one of those out there organizations where people get to say, oh, I want to contribute to that. If you haven't heard of Nashua Center, I urge you to go to their website to learn about them, because they provide a tremendous.
You're right about that. They are a very quiet organization in our community that does a lot of work.
They do, and we've supported them for a long time. They have a taste of the town, and once a year, and we do that. But we've been, I think, 11 or 12 years straight that we have been faithful to support them.
Fantastic.
But it's just an organization that takes care of people that sometimes get missed.
Yeah.
And it's not an easy thing for them, for them. So I think they're a great organization.
I would have to agree wholeheartedly, having seen sort of personally some of the work that they do.
Their executive director is
Brian.
Brian,
Young.
and he is as committed and as crazy as they come. I mean, he's
That's
great.
true. He is committed and crazy. You're right. No, Brian's a great guy. Absolutely. Terrific. And then the Soup Kitchen, you're also involved. I learned about that originally, I think, through the Silver Knights, because you are sponsoring their Soup Kitchen Sundays, and other ways in which you're involved with them too.
We did a campaign one November where we gave back 5%.
Yeah, sometimes we'll do on our customer base, say, if you come in November, we'll give 5% back to the Soup Kitchen.
Yeah.
And that was a great campaign, and it really, I think our customers felt great that they participated in this, and it was a great morale for everyone.
We used to, in my store, also do for the Humane Society, we had the little dog house, but we also had the little, which a lot of people have, which I loved, the little dog house, but also had like little cutout paws. And ours was a kids store, and kids would come in and they would, with their parents, to buy clothing. And they would say, oh, what's that for? Mommy, I want to, can I help the puppies too? Or the cats, or whatever the case. And that was super popular with them, and it was always just $1 or a couple of dollars or something, but it really added up because it connected with our customers, who really appreciated that, and we then would match it, whatever they did. So same kind of thing.
Right. And we do like being involved with United Way, because that hits some of the charities and things that we don't necessarily get to know about all the time, or the Meals on Wheels, and you guys do a lot of different things in the local market that, I had originally, when we started with United Way, I wanted to make sure, I didn't want the money that was collected from our employees for us to go, to Arizona. And you explain that to us, and that's a great thing for us, for the business owner to understand. Is like, listen, this is supporting the guy down the street. This is supporting the person that's homeless. This is supporting.
That's right.
Local things.
Well, that was a good conversation. That was actually one of my first conversations when I started with United Way. It helped me also to learn a little bit more, forced me to do a little bit of my own research. But it is such an ultra-local organization that people sometimes don't realize it, because think United Way and they're used to seeing it on TV or the branding or something. They don't realize that the way it's structured is that everything stays local unless somebody, of course, wanted it to go out of state or to a different specific organization.
Right.
You guys have been great supporters in that too. So it's a lot that you do. I appreciate that. In the process of giving back and participating in the community, have you had any surprises along the way or things you didn't know about, organizations that you just learned about that hadn't heard about before? For example, I'll just say for example, because I know that's kind of a tough question. Like I did notice something about the Friends of Nashua High Athletics and Little League. So it looks like you do some stuff with youth athletics too?
We do. We do anything to do with the kids. We're an easy mark.
Be careful what you say on TV.
Yeah, I know. But we try to. That's where we try to put our dollars. Is we do Little League. We do the Friends of the Nashua Athletic Association. We do Milford. We sponsor the Milford football high school team. We've done that for the last 4 or 5 years, and we really like doing that one. Whether it's the Hollistown Band. Sometimes we've done the one Dean came and does with the kids with the robotics.
Oh, First Robotics,
And when the kids have to go on a trip, sometimes it's a customer's kid and they come in and we like local and we like stuff that the dollars stay in those.
community.
I think a lot of people appreciate that.
Right.
That's taking care of your neighbor.
We also do the Pregnancy Care Center. We're very fond of them. And Nashua's got some great.
It does.
Yes.
It's one of the things that's been amazing for me is to learn about what a robust nonprofit community we have, and how there's a lot of cooperation also. And I think in some places maybe you don't see that as much, but our nonprofit community seems to not overlap with each other too much. But even when they do, they still work together. There's not a lot of competition.
Right.
It's more cooperation, which is good. In a small community like ours, you would need that.
Right.
So what's next for Gurney's Automotive? We only have a minute or two left, but I figure I might as well throw that out there. Well, where's the next location going to be? Not going to say.
No, but we would like to do another location. And
Really?
And the reason being is because it's the only way for our employees. It's a tough business, especially on our technicians. So the only way they can grow inside the business is if we grow.
Right.
And if we grow, then they'll have a better long term. Because we want people to be with us for a lifetime. We're not looking for 5 years. We're looking for lifetime people. And for us we have to commit to that. So we have to do things to make it so they can do that.
That's right. So it'll be great to watch your growth and follow that in the next years to come. I know that it's a great story and a good local success. So it's very nice.
Thank you.
I would tell you we owe all the glory to God.
Yeah. There you go. So nobody comes on the Mike Show without getting a parting gift, I have to say. By the way, believe it or not, half an hour's already up. So one of them is a T-shirt. You have to have a United Way T-shirt. Let's see. I brought 2 of them, and I think they're both the same. There we go. One for you,
Thank you.
and
Thank
one
you.
for you. And then careful, they shrink a little bit too. There you go.
All right. Thank you very
You
much.
can wear it on your cookout when I come on Friday to pick
Okay.
up my burgers.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the obligatory water bottle as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Mike, thank you very much.
Charlotte and Bill, thank you so much for coming
Thank
on
you.
and
Thank you.
really for everything you do in our community. It's wonderful.
Thank you for having us.
And what you've done in United Way in a short time. All right.
Oh, well,
We hear great
only-
things about you.
well, it's only because we have such great partners like yourselves.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.